Guys, I've just finished another painting and I'm just going to get rid of it from the screen so that you can't see it anymore, because I want to show you how I put this painting together. There is so much in this video that you can learn about. Firstly, working on a full sheet of ashes, 56 by 76 centimeters, all the ways in which you can use watercolor to its absolute advantage. And then I've left it, I don't know, half acrylic and half watercolor. There's a lot of negative painting going on. I give you lots of tips about composition and why I'm making the decisions that I'm making. I don't just go ahead and paint without informing you as to why, and I think that's where the learning goes on, and I think that that's what the best teachers on YouTube do. So please watch and enjoy and learn, and consider subscribing if you want to continue to see videos like this one. I've got a full sheet of ash, 300 GSM cold press, a couple of quills, big brushes, and I'm using that painting only as a guide. I'm putting a huge amount of water on, and I'm going to spread it in a quite controlled way. Some of that beautiful blue. Oh, I was going to put yellow first. Just remembered that part. I've got a brush with me. There's some yellow there. There's some yellow there. Some yellow there. And yellow there and there and there and there. Right, that is absolutely fantastic. A little bit of gravity, do some of the work for me. See what beautiful things happen. That's cool. I'll just even it up to the other side. What you've got to do next is get the excess moisture off. I mentioned about this brush that is super soft, and it's marketed as both acrylic and watercolor. And I don't believe it. So I'm now going to lift off. It's super dry. Yeah, there, look at that. If this has been previously wet, you can run it back and forth. So this brush, if you're interested, is an Escoda Barcelona Barroco, size 30. And it's the best lifting up brush in the big size I've ever had. And put a little bit in there. Just, oh, it's really hard not to get those marks. Okay, it is possible to do these wispy lines, but I keep leaving big dobby bits. So that's when this one is going to be fantastic. I'm going to use my little liner brush to put in some blue down here. Just wet it, go straight in for the viscous blue. They will really slowly dissipate. It's really quite beautiful what happens. So it's still really quite wet. But the beauty of this method is that I get all this time, bring it down that low or make it go really high. Because it looks like a beach towel, I'm going to do something to it, because a beach towel is not at all what I want to have happen in this painting. So I'm going to get rid of those lines completely. This one can run down. This red can go for a journey. And just put it there. So see how slowly it's moving? Twist the brush a little and it's turning sides. Ooh, it's so cool. Bit of landscape, bit of not. Oh, let's get rid of some of those too. It's dried beautifully, and I've decided to completely switch mediums to acrylic. There are two main reasons for that. One is that I'm lacking whites and I'm sick of scrubbing, so I want to put white on, and the easiest way to do that is with white acrylic paint. I'm going to be using the Motif range, and I have completely given up on this being a bird. I think it just looks silly, and I realised that I've done these big paintings before with big birds on them and they always look weird. The bird being such a tiny bird just for some reason looks weird. oversized. So I went searching for images, meaning for me because I took them on holidays. I wonder if I can use these beautiful reds and colours here and negatively paint them. So that's my plan. I've got, I print these, by the way, on 100 GSM paper, and it's brilliant because it doesn't collapse easily. I'm going to grab my pencil. I like to use this black wing because it draws so beautifully. And it comes with its own sharpener, black wing, and it makes this really, really long lead. I'm just sharpening on both sides. So I've got this beautiful point. I'm going to spend a little while sketching. It's quite a good photo. I have painted it with that composition before, but it doesn't lend itself to this landscape orientation. So I'm thinking that this will be a big flower head. This is going to be like a distant line, and there will be beautiful, maybe some trees over here. Maybe there'll be little trees with spaces. I quite like doing that. So do a fat tree and a thin tree, and that can come down like that, and some close trees and some wonky trees, because that's what trees do. They like to go in all different directions, and put a tree that goes in the opposite direction. Big bifurcation there. That, all right, and I'll be able to fill that in later. Love drawing with this pencil. Okay, so that will very likely become a major focal point. And it will be next to this focal point, which is going to be a big bloom. It is very central, so I might make it slightly smaller and then another one so that that leads down this shape. So, yeah, I think that's good. This is going to be, not that one. I wonder if it might be this one. This shape. Oh, I'm just not completely convinced suddenly. I wonder if it should be these beauties. And these can come down into there. And this is a native species. Blueberry ash, that's pretty sure that's blueberry ash. That's the little bloom on it. I haven't written the name on the back. So they would hang there. One would hang there. One would hang there, and one would hang there. This one will be quite green. And then it does have some blossoms. It really takes me a long while to make these decisions. I think I liked the red because I've got all this red on here, and okay, it's this bloom, I've decided. So I'm going to give it the little ruffle edge as I go, and that will remind me when I paint it to keep the ruffle edge going. Can go into that green, that's not a problem. I'm not worrying about the fact that that's not red. I can change it easily with acrylics, but I'm not going to worry. This is the stem coming down there. And then it's got this amazing center with this weird, the center of it, the shape is extraordinary. And then there's all these little tiny, that goes over it and goes around into there and there. So there's these little tiny dots that come out either way, out there. So I'm negatively drawing around that shape, and I'm going to get all this beautiful marks that I wouldn't get otherwise. Okay, so I've got one there. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these sheets to try and stop distracting me. And that's that one there, and I want another one here. So I'll do, that's 2, so it's hard to tell where it starts and stops, so I'll do that one down there now. Draw that one there and have the lip of it be close to that edge. Comes in, and then it's got this little random bit. I just love how abstract the petal shapes are. That one goes over there, around, and tucks in that one. And then in the center, we've got the stamen in this incredible shape. And then it's got ones coming out from it. I need to put in all these little red dotty things, but I don't think there's any point drawing them in. In fact, I might change my name, my name. Might change my mind later. This stem can't be seen, but it would come out of that. So I'm going to draw it in as though it comes down there. I'm going to go through that white part, through that light part there. Might look quite interesting later. That'll be an excellent start, and then I'll have these trees, and I might put in a few more, or just start and not worry so much. I think that's quite good, I like it. And I need something down here, don't I? So there are 2 main reasons why I'm going with acrylics. One is that I want lots of white to be introduced, and that's so much easier to do with an acrylic paint. This paper can certainly handle anything. It's a big piece of ash. The other thing about it is that I'm likely to mount it on wood. I'm kind of sick of all this framing I've had to do over the years, so I'm likely to mount it on wood, so it's going to need an acrylic all over it at the end, so I may as well start with the acrylic now. But you could just as easily finish it with watercolour, of course, and I'm guessing if you're attempting this that you're probably not a beginner. I'm going to start with getting out my paints. I bought this palette online, and it was supposed to have the paint peel off, and it didn't peel off. So I think my paint was too thin for that to work, so thus I haven't done a review on it as yet. I don't want to say it hasn't worked when it might. This is Phthalo turquoise, which I'm in love with, but I'm not sure it goes with it, but how beautiful is this with it? So I'm going to grab some of that as well. This is cobalt teal. And I want to also make up a lovely earthy dark colour, and I'm going to do that. And this is going to knock back all these colours. I'm going to make up an earthy colour with ultramarine and burnt sienna, because I know that makes that fabulous combo. Matisse burnt sienna, series 1, semi-transparent. Oops. These lids come off so easily, it's beautiful. I might clean it now. And burnt sienna, fantastic. Let's get some of this burnt sienna and add ultramarine and burnt sienna and mix it up together. Makes a fabulous dark, but it's such an earthy dark. It looks a little bit like Payne's grey because it's a blue grey, but I love that idea. Mixing my own greys, always have. Okay, I'm going to start with a bit of negative painting over there. And I'm going to start with white. I'll do this one first. White. Go over my pencil mark. Like that. It's an opaque white, so if I go thicker, I get instant coverage. And then over there, that's going to come around here. A little more water to keep it runny. I was using up heaps of painting medium, and but I've decided to do water. Keep that light for now. No, I'm doing negative painting. Okay. Just get rid of that paint line. There. Keep a little bit of water on my brush. This paint, I'm just going to bring it in here a little and clean my brush and feather that off to nothing. Partly to remind myself of where it goes. Oops. A little bit of water, feather that off to nothing. So different with acrylics to watercolor, and I have to switch in my brain to this method. Okay. Let's get some of this lighter grey, mix it in, and go back to the white and blend. And into that beautiful mix, I'm going to throw some of that beautiful colour. Bring it right up to the edge. Go back to that grey. Grey and a little water. Oops. Covering that edge as well as I can. Okay, wow. Got a bit of power going on there. I'm going to remove any excess paint because I don't like the lumps that are going to appear, especially just using my brush to go in and out of that edge there. Change colour. I don't like the paint to create ridges at this early stage. Later on, a bit of texture in the paint is lovely, but at this stage I'm just getting rid of all the lumpy bits. How's that looking? Oh, the inside of this is going to look fantastic. Colour is really good. That black needs to come in a bit there, like that. But pretty damn good. Good start anyway. Fantastic. Okay. A lot of texture going on up there that will need to be balanced by smooth texture elsewhere. But the blue and that grey is really, really, really good. So we're going to get some lovely flat areas. I might do that now. Just get some flat areas going, like that. flat, slow painting. I've been quite frenetic at first, and now I'm just going to create a lovely area that is flat, with no lumps, no lumps, no lumps, no lumps. No lumps. All right, none of the background has been allowed to come through so far. So just getting rid of lumps, 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 lumps. I'm going to use Flow Aid, which is transparent and very runny. So it's going to make the paint very runny. This is Liquitex again, and I love the way they do their mediums. I'm just going to put it straight on, see if I can get away with that. I'm going to go back to white, this whitish grey. Can I mix it over there? Yeah, look, oh, it's going to do pretty things on the page. Fantastic. Okay. And then I'm going to paint smoothly, just get the colour going, and I'm just greying it all down by using that Flow Aid. Just come in around the edge gently. There's almost no paint on my brush. Just get it to mix smoothly. Hopefully have a smoother transition from this rough area to the smooth area. Give it a little bit more. Go around the trees. I'm so glad I drew the trees in first. All right, any more? Go up to that line, I think. Well, it was a good experiment putting it straight on the paper. I think I should bother to mix it in though next time. Okay, that's worked nicely. Got all this roughness going over there, and then all this softness going there. And then I'm going to have some lovely softness going on down here. And I'm going to negatively paint these stems down there. Okay, so I'm going to put some of the Flow Aid into my soft grey colour, or put some here, there. Oh, I'm going to put in all the colours. Move it into this grey, and let's say the stem comes down again. The stems are actually always quite wonky, so I'm going to make it wonky, go that way. And then I've got these beautiful ones that I scratched out, so I think I'll negatively paint them too. Right, let's get a bit of grey over here. It's just gentle, smooth painting at the moment. Gentle. Just wanted to gradate it from that light out to the dark. Get a little bit of blue in there. But I'm being quite gentle. And by being gentle and really controlling the amount of paint on your brush, I get quite a different look. Just gently painting in. And when I mean a quite different look, it's all just beautifully smooth. And then that will contrast nicely with all that action up there. I'm negatively painting between all these little, they were kind of like grasses that I put in quite early. And they're really beautiful shapes. So I'm just going with it going, you know how artists talk about that idea that they go with the painting, let the painting do the talking. Just love that concept of letting go and letting the painting, letting go and letting the painting lead me in to the process, letting the painting guide me. A bit more medium and smooth it out down there. Up until now I've been using painting medium rather than this is Flow Aid, but I've used Flow Aid in the past and liked it, so thought I'd just switch mediums to learn more about mediums. Certainly am a person who learns by doing. There's all these beautiful marks coming in this way, so I'm going to enhance that idea. Take it in like that. Oh, I quite like those little negative shapes leading into these poppies. I think I need some of this beautiful ultramarine in here. Just gonna change that shape a little. There. It's quite nice. And enhance the grass idea. It goes up there and there. And that's looking like it's quite connected, so I'm enjoying using the really light colour down here. I'm just going to continue to negatively paint the grasses. So by using more of the painting medium, or in this case Flow Aid, I'm allowing more of the background to come through because the Flow Aid is transparent. Alright, I'm going to keep it light down there. I just picked up a big daub of dark paint, but I need to keep it light. I think I'll move into the white colours and keep that medium flowing. Okay, so I've got these beautiful areas there. I need to come in with some darks here. I'm going to do it in ultramarine first and negatively paint here. I'm going to put in a flat colour. So again, I'm thinking about ways to make it interesting. So I'm hoping to vary what I'm doing. And I'm negatively painting the ruffles on the flowers. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle. lighter as I come down. Negatively paint the stem into there. Bit messy, isn't it? All right. I'm going to have to fix that later, but for now I'm going to focus in on this negatively painting the flower. I'm kind of just putting my brush into all the sections that have matte medium. I'm going to use a smaller brush for when I get over there. For now I'm just finishing off the matte medium. For now I'm using up the flow aid that's on here. Now then, how's that? That needs a connection with that down to there. That's better. Get rid of the lump. Is that better with the darker? Yeah, all right, that's connecting it nicely. Connecting this area with the above area through tone. Huh, that's great. I'll just go in with a little bluer version. Thought it was nice to keep it light, but I can see now that in fact it just needs connections. Yep. All right, where else? There. And there. And there. Let's go down to here. Darker, darker, darker. Connect up some of the shapes too, I think. Too many shapes. Is that better? Much better. Go back to the blue to change the colour up. Yep, that's better, gosh. Okay, I will come in with a lovely small brush to paint in amongst them, and I might do that now. I've been using soapy water to start off the cleaning process. Just leave it to soak in there for a second, get a nice small brush. Got a smaller version, it's a little angle brush. Now I'm going to do this in grey. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do it straight in grey. Oops, too much paint on my brush, just wiping some off. To come in and do these little bits. I could even have a smaller brush, gosh. There. Little tiny negative spaces I'm going for. Just making that edge uneven. It's got a bit of flow aid mixed with it, so it's painting so beautifully and easily. It is so much better than water, gosh. Okay, now I'm just going to add some more trees here. Go that way. Make make it a branch like that. Dip into the blue to change the colour as I move over. Just varying those strokes a little. That's quite nice. Might keep them going over there. Easy to get rid of later. But while I've got this lovely colour on my brush, I think I'll just put it in. Okay. I think that's pretty good for a next step. And just checking for any lumps I want to dispose of. Lump, lump, lump. So if I change my mind and paint over it, I'll just have lumps. Pretty good. Looks a bit like an A, so I'm going to interrupt that. Still looks like a bit of an A. Still looks like a bit of an A. That's better. Okay, now I'm going to do the inside of these, and I'd like to do them in red, but I'm wondering if there's still more than enough red on the page. Nah, I think I'll go red. Okay, let's do red. Stick that one into the soapy water, give it a scrub, and this one can get transferred into here for a little more of a wash. And I'm going to get some red. This is Naphtol Scarlet. Ow. Semi-transparent, so it's got the little box half filled in. Some more medium. Flow Aid. Mix it up here. Oh, by the way, these lids are designed to open like that, but as you can see, they're designed to open like that, but they don't open, which is why I end up unscrewing them, just in case someone's going to be like, flick the lid. Right, here's the red for the poppies. I'm going to do this one first because this is a little bit wet. And I want some more negative painting up here. And in here. And I'm going to get a clean brush and feather that out. Picks up lots as it feathers. Feather, feather, feather. It's good enough. I'm going to stick that in the water though, because I'll need that in a second. Just going to dry it off so that it's ready for me to use, and I'll put it over here on my palette. Okay, let's do one in this pretty turquoise because I'm not loving the red. So I'm going to switch and do turquoise on the green. So pretty. Get some thicker turquoise. Bit more turquoise up here. colour's fantastic. Right, so I'm going to do this one negatively this way. There. Do some of that beautiful combo. Starting to come together. This mark is quite strong, so I'm going to get my white and change it. I was hoping to negatively paint the whole thing, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I'm going to grab that red and go for it. Red and red, red. It's better. Oh, I might be able to leave that. Let's get this red happening up here too. Over here. Coming down right into there. Oh, let's get this fabulous black in there. They go that way. They go that way. They go that way. I like that being in amongst all that dark. That's cool. And I'm really tempted to bring some of the red down here because I've got all this red here. So it's enough. I have this desire to put it down here, but I don't think it's going to help. It's got enough red, enough red, enough red. I think that's all fine. And I love that this is, I might leave this unfinished and just suggest something, but I will finish that poppy and it will be in this with white. Oof. It's kind of a pink, but it's got a little bit of this beautiful bluey colour, so it's kind of a greyish pink. Oh my gosh, look at it. That's exciting. Okay, we've got a petal. So I'm just going to do strokes that match the petal. And these strokes, this one comes up like this, like this. Put in a little bit of white. This, like that. A bit more white. Go in there and there. Come down. And that goes in like that. Gosh, so many things are so much easier in acrylics. No wonder they're the most popular type of painting. Oh, I'm stunned sometimes. Oh, that's good. And then I'm going to do this one in slightly different. Add some of that, shall we, into the mix and blue. Oh, and this one goes this way, this way, this way, this way, and darker again to go in. Let's get some of that black happening in there. Black, there, into there. Huh, that's cool. This should match that. So I need this beautiful dark to go with the red. I've had a little break and it's given me the opportunity to come back and have another look at it. I want to finish these stamen and I want to include some elements down here that make the painting look more cohesive. I'm loving what I've done over here, just might leave it. I'm really loving this messy dominance and it's heavy. And down here I just like to put in some lovely tiny buds, just something small that matches it up with the subject matter. I think that the colour is working, so I'm pretty pleased about that. I'm going to keep that there so that I paint some in here. So because I was having a break, I just sprayed my palette to keep it wet. I don't have one of those stay wet palettes. I'm getting a really small brush, little tiny one. And I'm going to put them in here and, oh, I love those pods. Oh, that's an even better idea. Put in some pod shapes. That can be the top of the pod. There. Okay, so I'm hoping that putting all this water on my palette has allowed it to stay a little wet because I just want to finish this off. I'm going to put in these things here. They're a lovely pod shape. I might make it veer this way. Kind of like that idea. This kind of helps the eye move up in that direction. And then add a little white to it. Over here. A little bit of 3D painting going on in terms of the shape. I'll just get some of that white. And that's what's dotted all over it. It's quite nice with the dots on this brush because it's got a few colours on it. Well, you know, white and red. Anyway, that's cool. And then it can have a stalk that will be possibly negatively painted. Let's give that a go. Back to this jagged edge one. And do something with, I'll wet the brush first. And I'd like there to be a fair bit of medium. So I'll just get that down quickly, move it about. And then I want to, oh, what a great idea. Spread them out like that. That's lovely. I might soften that. Right, let's come into this side here. It's going to have a stem that curves like that. So let's add a little bit of this burnt sienna into that colour. The burnt sienna, oh, there's a lump there. Oh, it's blue. It's not a lump. It, well, it kind of is, it's paint. That burnt sienna is lovely. I sprayed a fair bit of water over there. I'm going to make it go this way. So that's lovely. Get rid of the paint. And just drag that out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, the negative painting sometimes is just the best. I don't know that I'll do the other side. I might do the other side of the stem later, but for now I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So I'm going to do that again. This time I'm going to add a little bit of grey into my red wet mix. And do another one. I wish I had, oh, there is another one there. It's kind of right behind it. And it's on an angle. Make it on an angle, even if it isn't on an angle. All right, dotty dotty. Back into the white paint to give it a highlight. And then dot the little white things because they were great. Dot, dot, dot. I might try and remember to do more of them later. Oh, follow it up into there for sure. I'll get a round brush later on, maybe a rigger to do that. And just make a little connection up to here, up to here. Have some sitting on the edge of the... And then that will have a stem as well. So change brushes back to the bigger one. Maybe it can negatively come this way a little way. Yeah, right, so that involved a bit of medium. I know you're not supposed to put it straight on your palette, but I really don't care about those things. Okay, the stem would go, probably just touch this one. Stem, jump that down to there. Oh wow, I can still do the other stem negatively. You'd think if I'd planned that out, that would have been really cool. All right, there's a lot of this medium. I put too much on, never mind. Just spreading it around. It's just another paint medium, so I don't think it matters if it just goes on pure. It'll take a little while to dry. Oh, I know what I'll do is I'll tip it around. Just little abstracty marks in there. I like that. Okay, back to this one. This one's not showing up at all, but I don't think I care about that. Swap brushes again. Back to the little tiny one. And let's put in a redder one. Have I got any actual red left over? Nah, it's all this softer colour. But, you know, that's kind of nice. But maybe we'll do a little negative one up here. This time it'll be a hanging one, so it'll be come up and over and it'll go around like that. It'll have a bit of that red in it. Big brush and negatively paint that one. Oh, that'll go up like that. It's much nicer with the medium, isn't it? Up. Make those white ones go floating up, floating down, floating down, 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 down. Okay. Oh, that one worked beautifully. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I'll get this other red one here. All right, I'm gonna get a container. I've got some yellow left in here, so I think that'll be just fine. It's yellow watercolour, of course, because it's in this dish. Now I've got this beautiful red one here. If I put that bit of pinky colour in it, what else could I add to it? Grey. I wonder if that'd be fabulous. Bit of grey. It's got all sorts of lumps in it. but I can get rid of them, and some of them will soften as it sits there. Okay, I did this one. Now I'm going to do that one, so it'll be going that way, and it'll go that way and that way. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to switch to the big brush. Okay, some of that and paint outwards. Look, it's moving some of that watercolour paint. And then it needs a little bit of colour because that didn't quite work, did it? It's too transparent, so I'm going to put a little bit of colour in. Just see if I can do some of those spiky things by painting little rough edges. Nope. It's going this way, the brown stem. That looks lovely with the white. I'm going to get some of that white. And I've got plenty of white here. Okay, how's that if I put in, oh lovely, look at it spreading. Oh, that is fantastic. That's great. And that's going to go, goes up, quite a way up before it comes down. And that's on that side, and then that goes up before it goes down. Switch to the other brush. Soften that completely. Soften all in there. That needs to be tighter. Much tighter. It's quite thin. Those lovely. Right, do that again, eh? Oh, so lovely when you can really, when the negative painting works beautifully and you can see the outline of what I was creating. That's quite good, but that needs to be grey. So I don't want white there. Kind of grey. I don't know why I'm whispering. Down to there. Okay. That's kind of cool. I might keep going in this area, or what about over here? Oh yes, let's do some over there. That is cool. I'm going to get a dark touch and go there. Oops, it's doing that cute separating thing this brush does sometimes. Just wet it down and go there. Move. That's it. Okay, lovely. Now over here, go back to my little brush. Oh, this is just, feels like it's all working nicely. Okay, I'm going to start with this little mix over here. I do want them to kind of connect, but it's all a bit wet there, so I want to let that dry. So that's why I'm moving from area to area. So over here, well, look at this yellow. I know none of the buds are actually yellow, they're all green, but it suits my purpose to use the beautiful colours I've got here. Okay. I'm going to do it from the photo each time because I find when I make it up, something looks odd about it. Let's go down with this one. We'll have one like that. That's coming down here. And it is a fatter shape on the bottom and a thinner down to fatter. Cool. And then the stem is going to go into the painting. I'm doing that one, goes more upright. More of that angle before it turns down there. I'll just put the other side in with this stuff. A little more of this stuff on so that I'll get that lovely rushing about bizzo with the bigger brush. And on the bigger brush I'm going to put more of that burnt sienna this time. Okay, let's see what happens with, is it runny enough to move about? No. And that's going up there, and that's going up there. I want to use lots of this, mix it in, and get rid of the obvious negative painting that I've done, get rid of the evidence what I've done there. That's travelled right in. There's a new baby at my neighbour's house, and it's upset all the time. You know how that is when, I'm going to put a little line on it. Babies are quite young and they've got some issue. You know, they've got some colic, or they've got some, it goes on that side, down to there. Yeah, just some issue. And so they're upset babies. And usually there's a reason. And if there's not a reason, then that's not good. Life's going to be a little bit harder for you if you get one of those crying ones. Just softening that edge again. Just seeing if I can add a little bit of texture to the edge. Actually, I quite like that one. I don't think I'll touch it. Okay, this one needs a little bit of broken edging, because they do actually have that furry stuff all over them, so it's kind of logical that I would attempt some furriness there. How's that? Yeah, it's surprisingly easy to see. I'm going to make it a little more obvious. And it goes in and then up. There's a little in bit. I love it when I get the shape right. And sometimes that happens. Not necessarily that one, but it does happen. Okay, so they have little stems. Oh, you can't see this stem. It was just too transparent. That's funny. Okay, let's go back and get some of this colour that starts. I think I made it go down there. Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's put in some dark in there. Just darken all of that up. Hopefully that might act as a nice entryway for your eye to enter the painting. Okay, how's that looking? It's, at the moment, that one's actually a little distracting, surprisingly, but that may not matter because it's little and so easy to knock back later on. So I'm creating a connection in subject and shape from this to this. So while this is drying, I will attempt these stamen in these two. So since I've started this white dotting and I'm loving it, that is definitely the way I'm going to go. I'm going to go back to the little brush. And, oh, it's nice and dry here, but I just painted that bit, so I'll try and, oh no, it's all wet there too. Very funny. Okay, it's full of little, It's very dark, the stamen. If I make that darker though, is that going to look better or worse? I think it will look worse. So I'm going to do it in a lovely light colour, this white with a little bit of the grey, a little bit of the red. And this one goes like this. It's kind of this one. And I'm going to give it the little beautiful convex shape that it has. It's quite fabulous, and it's all segmented. Gosh, the beauty in those stamen is mind-blowingly wonderful. Just going to make them a little neater. This is as small as my brushes go. I don't have anything smaller. But I'm going to get black now and put a beautiful dotty shape in there for them to merge onto. There, and go back into that black a little more. I'm making it a mid-grey now, and just come back in. Like that. And then I'm going to do all those little surrounding stamens with, oh no, I said I would get a brush with a tip. And I have this beautiful one with this incredible tip. Wet it and see if I can just get this white. I'm automatically getting red. Every colour will dominate. Every colour will dominate white. Same as yellow, every colour dominates. Well, not every colour, but you know, a lot of, most. I'm just winding it round and round and round till I get all my bristles back into that beautiful point, and then load. And they go here, here, here. My touch is just a little bit heavy, but as I start to do them, they'll get better. I'm really concentrating hard. Now I'm going to shift colour, especially down here where they're a bit harder to see. Oh, actually, no, it's kind of nice. I'm going to get some blacks to put in there now. Get the black, massage it in the same way. Going round and round and round to get my point. Get some blue. See if I can just put in little bits of blue down there. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Close enough. These all don't have the stems that these real stamen have, but I know from past experience, if I start putting them in, it just becomes a blobby mess. So I'm going to let the viewer's eye fill in on that section. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, I've just zoomed in with the camera so that you can see that detail there. And you can, I'll just move this over a little more so you can see that's the stamen look that I was going for. And these have all those stems, but I'm not going to put them in because it's, from experience, I know that I will ruin it rather than add to it. So just let the viewer's eye fill that part in. This one is a little bit different. I'll just move it over there so you can see. So it's got the same lovely convex shape, and these stamens are pushed out a little bit more. So I'll just move my camera so you can see, yeah, that's better, so you can see what's going on. And up here I had this one pointing in this direction, and it wasn't this flower, was it? Yeah, I think I drew them from this. So this is going this way, covering it. Oh, that's that one. Haha. All right, I'm going to do the whole thing with this pointed brush, and hopefully it will do what I want without having to test every single time. It goes up, up, like that, and goes in. Yes, the paint, I just want it that little bit more runny. The opposite of viscous. I could only think of viscous. Going in there like that. There. And then it's got this top section that goes like that, that, that. And then I need white from inside this lump. Gone back, right, faster to get rid of it over there. And stick it in this white. And so that's going to go there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of detail to this stamen. And that goes along there. And then I'm going to do those white dots on the outside because that looked very effective. Or I might do them in black. Oh, let's start in black actually. I think I might do something different. So these are popping up because they're on a dark background. But this is quite light there, so I'm going to do black. Then there's a little bit of black in there. And then there's all these stamens that are like dots and dashes, a little bit more paint. Yep. And they come out here, there. And then they pop out over here as well. And down there, underneath that one. And then they come over here. And then there's some dark bits down there. I might see if I can make it ultramarine. Wipe it on my towels. It's a rag actually. It's one of those stupid sports bra type things that I bought, and they're so stupidly made. I don't know who the hell designs them, but it's not someone who understands female bodies. I object to bras anyway. I really, really object to them. They just, I'm going to put in a little bit of colour over there. No, I should do that with red later. Definitely red later. Get rid of that one for now. That will remind me, I hope, later on that I could delineate those petals. But maybe not. Maybe, oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to just continue here and put in some more dark bits down there. Actually, I might just leave it for now. I think that's all right. How did it go? Okay, bigger picture. Get rid of this to have a good look. Get rid of this. I'm going to put it over near my mouth. That's not good. Try and keep all the paint over on this side and the technical stuff over there. Get that off the screen so you can see better. This one is really drawing the eye at the moment. Acrylics dry darker, such a total difference between watercolour and acrylics. Watercolour dries lighter and acrylics dry darker. And yeah, so this is still wet is my point, and so we won't know exactly the tone of it until it is beautifully dry. This dark plain shape here is kind of nice. I'm kind of jumping to it and enjoying it, and I think, but it doesn't seem to have a relationship with something, so I think I should do another one of those. And in fact, I'm going to do it right now. I've got the colour here, and that's the problem with this sort of palette, is I'm going to get rid of that shape there. How's that? And I'll put one in there. Oh, that's nice. It takes from there to there to there. That's cool, okay. That's really nice. I've knocked out some of those. I could knock out one of those. Just to put a little bit of darkness in it, which might make it more important or less important. Kind of joins with that one. I'll darken that one. So the question is, does it want more darks? Probably over here, but I really want to let that dry and make that decision a bit later. Does it want a bit more dark over there? Are these lines a bit distracting, and I should darken them and make them less distracting? Yeah, darken all that blue. Okay, and again, does it need any more darks? Is this a bit too interesting down there? Or interesting as in drawing your eye? I know it's not that interesting, but do you linger too long there? Because what I want is an entry point. I like to think of all these multiple ways that your eye will enter the painting's composition and hopefully remain with it and engage in it, which is why I've placed one there, and that led to there, and then I'm hoping that leads down to there. I can plan all this out, but you never really know until it's complete whether or not your ears have worked. I feel like I need to put something there, but I also am wondering whether I should wait. I love the idea of putting some of this beautiful dark grey over the turquoise, kind of make the turquoise more beautiful. I think turquoise is probably my new absolute favourite colour. Well, not new. I used to have I went through a really long phase of turquoise being my most favourite colour, and then I shifted to lots of other colours along the way. That bit of blue there is lovely. Perhaps more of that blue belongs on some of the other grey parts. What a lovely thought. That's okay, I'll give that one a go. And that one. How's that? Huh, that's nice. It's kind of repeating the pattern until it hits there. And I wonder if it would look awesome if I then pick up that shape on the petal. It's really kind of cool. Just increase the blue so it has that little bit more connection. And that goes down to a little tiny bit there, and that goes up to there. Sometimes I wonder if I'm kidding myself when I do these things. And then other times I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, I could see where I was going. Okay, that's beautiful. This is looking good, but I think could be stronger. So I'm just going to get a clean brush and go straight into the jar because I just want pure colour. And I've got another one of these beautiful angle brushes. And I think this is totally opaque. See the little square indicating that it's opaque. When the square is filled in, full of black, it means opaque, which I reckon is the best symbol. So clever. And of course, the opposite happens when you get a square and it's open. It's transparent. And then you can probably guess what semi-transparent looks like. Because if there's one thing I've found about artists, is that they are intelligent people. You just can't be an artist and be stupid. It just never seems to go together. And I have met hundreds of artists, hundreds. And I'm just gonna add in little bits of blue in the purer version of it. That's nice. Just dipping my brush straight into the jar. Feels kind of, oh, forgive me for saying this word, but it feels kind of naughty. And I have absolutely no idea why. I feel like I'm not following protocol and I'm feeling conscious of that and therefore feeling naughty. It's not going to make me stop. I don't mean that because that would be stupid. Okay, don't go overboard now. I'm just going to bring up that beautiful blue. Now if it is too much tomorrow, I will knock it back. And as long as I've painted it smoothly, I can knock it back. Okay, now a little bit on the tip and incorporate it up here. I just love the idea that possibly your eye follows this, the blue up, and therefore I want it to appear in some spots up here. And there. Come down, and come down. Yeah, lovely, just lovely. And I think while this is on my brush, I'm going to get some incorporated here. There's just this little bit there. So I'm going to put it on with the watery stuff, which we've had a long discussion about. And where else? There. And that should come down a bit, so put in some more blue there. And down here. All right. These are very interesting in terms of what it's doing to attract your eye. What I'm using here are hard marks, or paint marks, brush marks with hard edges. So I called them paint marks. And that's a great way of saying forward in terms of perspective, because you see harder edges closer to you. And therefore it has a similar function in the composition, in that it's bringing these edges closer to your eye. Your eye thinks these edges are closer, and hopefully you notice them first. So hopefully your eye goes in and up to here, and then comes down, sees that and comes around. I think this needs a little more resolution, but it also might be something that I don't do for a really, really long time. I'm going to get that tiny little brush and sign my name in grey. It's dry enough, I reckon. What I'm going to do is say that I am done enough so that I can put this video together for you, which takes me days. And if it isn't going to take me days, then I will be able to adjust the background a little. But more likely, this is going to be it for a week, 6 months, I don't know. It changes for me all the time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up if you got anything out of this video. See you next time, guys. Bye.